Yes, you ready, Coach?
Yeah.
We can open up for questions.
Trisha, just why are they so good? What is it, seeing a person like that, what is it that they do?
I think the biggest thing is they share the ball really, really well, and all of them can shoot the three. They've got lineups out there that at least 4 out of the 5 are shooting threes, and when they're unselfish like that, I think that's what impresses me the most about how they play. Is they have three of the best guards in the country, but they're unselfish. When they come off the ball screen, they're not afraid to make the extra pass to get the best shot, and I think their unselfishness is really special. And they play with great pace. And you've got Hidalgo causing turnovers and creating extra possessions for them. But I don't think they also get enough credit for their defense. They help each other really, really well. And when they get stops, they're quick up the floor. There were a couple times tonight that, we scored and they beat us back up the floor. That should never happen, but it's because of their focus on getting the ball quick and getting up the floor and every effort of beating the other team up there. It's an elite level of focus offensively and skill level, and they're a handful because of it.
How about the defense? What did they do with your outside shooting tonight? Did they do anything, or was it just an off night? Or
Well, I think they were really physical with Haley, and they made it tough for her coming off screens early. But I did think we had some open shots that we didn't hit, and that we have hit, and so I think it was a combination of maybe hurried a little bit, trying to force things instead of taking our time, taking a deep breath and taking an easy shot. But I thought early on we had some open shots we did not hit. I thought we started off the game, I think, with 3 straight turnovers, so that didn't help our cause. But I do think that, this team, 2 out of our last 3 games has played extremely well. Today was not good. But what I want us to do is reset and get back to what we need to do, because we've got 3 important games in front of us.
We are coming upon a year since you were named head coach of the program after you transferred from Toledo. What is your outlook for the team, moving forward?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just that we've got 3 games remaining, and we want to make the most of those 3 games. And so, we look at the outlook, it's what's in front of us. I don't want to worry about what's happened in the past. I want us to have a forward focus, and I want us to be the best team possible in those 3 games. So we need to rest up from this game and move forward, learn from it, and move on. Because, they're undefeated in the league for a reason. They're a very, very good team. We can't hang our heads after this one. We just need to refocus.
Jasmine, what's it like going against those guards? They are among the best in the country, all 3 of them, individually and collectively. What's it like when you're trying to play against them?
Yeah, excuse me. They're it's a whole lot different than what you see on film, honestly. We watch film, we study them all week, but when you get on the court, they're really talented and they're very big, they're tall, they're strong. So I mean, finishing over them today was it was really difficult. I went 4 for 16. Even if you do get a shot, it's a hard shot. They're making your shots difficult. You have to alter it because they're just that good. They're that tall. So I mean, credit to them for their athleticism, just their team defense all around.
Coach, now you sit at that last spot of making the ACC tournament. Like you said, these 3 games are very important. What's the message going forward so you can get over that hump?
Well, the big message is our 5 ranked opponents in a row, that streak's over.
Yeah.
And we get to now play teams that aren't ranked, thank goodness. Thank you, ACC, for that schedule. But I do think we learned from it, and I think we got better because of it. And we need to get back to taking care of the basketball, sharing the basketball better, playing better defense. This team has a lot of ability, and I think, we gotta rest up and really focus on Wake Forest. And, I'd love to send these seniors out on senior night with a win. But it won't be easy. Wake Forest is a hungry team too that's fighting and clawing to do the same thing we're trying to do. But it's a great opportunity for us, and I want us to give everything we have to the bitter end. It would be awesome to see this start off with a victory against Wake Forest.
Coach, how we prepare your team differently for the Wake Forest game on Sunday?
Well, I mean, they're a different team. I think the big thing, we're going to have to be ready for some motion, some open motion. They do a really good job of slipping screens and setting screens, and they have a lot of different screening combinations. So we're going to have to really talk defensively. And then we've got to also make sure that we're guarding them. They've got some really good 3-point shooters. I I've watched several of their games already, but I can't wait to do a deep dive in the next couple days. But I think the thing that stands out for me is they're very capable 3-point shooters. They've got some good athletes, and the motion they run is hard to guard. So I think the biggest thing is we just got to talk, and we got to have great effort. We had that, like I said, 2 out of the last 3 games. Today, not so much. But the last 2 games, I couldn't have been more proud of how we played. And to lose by a combination of 3 points says a lot about this team. And I know that they've got a lot left in their tank, and we're ready to go.
One of your players, Hannah Cavender, in the news all day today with her boyfriend. Was this discussed before the game? Was there a show of support from your teammates leading up to the game? Did it affect the game at all? Any comments from either of you about what happened?
You want the players?
I mean, yeah, I think going into it, obviously that's very unfortunate, but I don't think it trickled over into the game. Like, we were supportive of her, we were there for her, and it's unfortunate that that did happen, but I think we do a good job as a team at, you know, separating, you know, what's going on off the court and on the court. But yeah, we were there for her, and I don't think it affected.
Coach, did you say anything to her leading up to the game?
Yeah, I just texted her and I called her today, and then I talked to her again at shoot around, just saying if you need anything, we're here for you. You know, it was unfortunate that it happened, and the timing of it was terrible. But, you know, I mean, she did her very best to be focused, and that's all I can ask. But, you know, any of us in that situation, it's going to play on your emotions a little bit.
Question.
That's just a human reaction.
Question. Fitzroy Anthony, the associate head coach. By any chance, would you happen to know if he's of Haitian heritage?
I know he's from the islands, but I don't know what island.
You don't know what island? Okay. Now, how's the dynamic like?
He's not Haitian.
No, he's not Haitian.
Okay.
He's from the
Antigua.
islands, but
He's from
Antigua, yeah,
Antigua.
Antigua, yeah, okay. I was like, I know it's an island, but
He's from Antigua.
Okay. And how has his coaching style been to the team?
He's phenomenal. He has an incredible work ethic. He does an incredible job working with our players individually. He does a wonderful job with our defense. I can't tell you. I love working with him, and I think we've got an incredible staff. But he's done a great job for us.
Coach, is there anything specific in the last few games that you want to focus on and capitalize on carrying into the next few games that your players have done well?
Well, let's scratch today, and let's just talk about those other 2 games. I think we shot the heck out of the ball against NC State and Florida State, and I think a lot of that was because we were very intentional about running our offense and executing. And when this team is really focused and executing, we're pretty dangerous. We also did a great job in those games of really pushing the ball in transition and finding each other and being unselfish. And then, you know, defensively, we got the stops we needed to get to stay in the game. I think if this team can get back to what we were doing, this could be an exciting finish. So our job is to get there.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Coach, I want to ask about the atmosphere. You had a big crowd. I mean, I know it wasn't the result you wanted, but what did it feel like to, you know, you've had a couple of the last 2 games, you've had more fans than usual.
Well, number one, we are very appreciative. We want to build our fan base. We talked about that when I first got here, and I think that the crowds are getting bigger, and I think that they've enjoyed watching our team play, and obviously they came to watch another team today too. There's a lot of Notre Dame fans in the stands, but I really appreciate the fans that are coming out to support this team. They worked their tails off all season long, and I do hope that they'll come out for this last game and really support our seniors. We've got a lot of them, 6 seniors, and you know, they've meant a lot to this program, and you know, I hope people will come out one more time. But I think what's also kind of neat about tonight that was a little different and special is we had 2 WBA coaches in the stands. We had at least probably 10 WBA players here. Name another college basketball game that has that many, you know, players and WBA coaches there. We're very fortunate to have an rival down the street, and I think that's pretty neat for our players to witness see their games close, because obviously Atlanta is not an easy trip. That's the closest WNBA team at the moment. But I think it's neat for our players to look over and see Stewie sitting courtside, you know, to see Arike Agumwale and all the other players that were here today in our games, and even seeing players in our practice facility. You know, we've got a lot of WNBA players that stop by here. I just think it's really cool for them to see the work ethic and the intentionality of what it takes to be at that level and to get better. And it's at our fingertips. That's so rare. So we're very grateful to have that opportunity.
Do you feel as though the media coverage on women's basketball, college women's basketball, could improve?
Yes, always. I hope it continues. But I will say this, I think we're seeing a very upward tick on that in the last few years, and I hope it continues.
Sorry. Do you feel as though this game should have been on TV? I mean, like it's a conference game, Notre Dame, UM.
It was on national. It was on extra.
I can't answer that as far as the national part, but we are on TV for all of our games. But I think the important thing is just that we continue to play the best basketball we can, and that we continue to try to rack up as many wins as we can and improve this program, because we want this team to be in the ACC tournament and vying for postseason. But that we've got some work cut out for us getting forward to make that happen.